Is this it? Is this the whole...
This is the game.
This is the whole game?
I think so. What are we playing today?
I think we're playing what we promised last time, right?
That's right, yeah. Evil Dead, Hail to the King.
Hail to the King, baby.
So welcome back to Watching the James Don't Play. My name is Bruce Campbell.
And I'm Groovy.
My name was Bruce Campbell for 4 years.
While you were in the witness protection program?
I can't believe... I may have told the story before, but...
We've talked a little bit about some of this stuff. But yeah, tell the actual story.
For 4 years, I worked at an AM talk radio station. I had a morning talk show.
It explains your hot, sexy voice.
I worked from... God, it was such a stupid schedule. So when I got hired on there, it was part-time. Just 20 hours a week. That's all they could afford. I worked from 6 to 8 a.m., went home, came back and worked 4 to 6 p.m. That was every single day was a weird part-time split shift. Finally, they were like, hey, this guy seems all right. So I would work. My schedule then went from 6 a.m. to noon. I'd go home for 4 hours and then finish up with the afternoon drive show. So I had the morning drive show and I had the afternoon drive show from 4 to 6 p.m.
Awesome.
So every single day, people heard me on their way to work and on their way home from work. For better or for worse. They heard me. The meanest phone call I ever got was a lady called me up and she goes, I just feel like, Bruce, is this Bruce? I go, you've got it. You called the radio station. I'm the guy talking. Bruce, you seem nice. Your show lacks substance. And I said, ma'am, would you call yourself conservative or liberal? And she goes, well, conservative, obviously. I was like, well, then you disagree with me. That's all it is. It's not that the show lacks substance. It
lacks conservative substance.
It lacks substance you're interested in.
I'm not hearing a lot of praise for our Lord and Savior.
Right. So my boss, who is a devout Catholic, sent her kids to private school. Very, very conservative.
Look
her
at that.
show,
Sorry,
yes,
just looking good.
Her show was 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And she would scold me because she's like, you can't
alienate that demographic.
Right. And I go, okay.
You're here to run a radio program ostensibly for everyone. You know, it should be accessible to just about anybody who flips on their radio.
Right. And so my argument back to that was, well, that's what we're doing.
I mean,
like I lean left from 6 to 8, then you lean right from 8 to 10. What's the fucking problem?
That means the radio station is balanced.
Right. Yeah, I was like, you know that news station you like so much with the crazy the crazy woodland creature it's named after that says fair and balanced?
What the fuck thing?
That's what this is. That's what we are. We're fair and balanced.
This is infotainment, baby.
Right. So what's the fucking problem? And she goes, well, I worry about our advertisers. I'm like, has any advertiser left? No? Then it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We get along.
It's all pretty innocent stuff, too. It's not like you were out there saying inflammatory things just to be a jerk.
One area that I did agree with her is that she had this pre-recorded segment called Off the Cuff, which is not off the cuff then.
It's automatically a paradox.
It's not off the cuff. If you recorded it ahead of time, it's not off the cuff.
That's why we don't... That's like when you're listening to this, it's not live. This is not a live show.
Off the Cuff would air from... I had like a 10-minute break during my show. Off the Cuff would air from 6:45 to 6:55.
Can we just say that cutscene, this looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good for PlayStation 1. Yeah, it's a cool pre-rendered cutscene.
Kind of looks like Bruce.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I give him, like, he doesn't look like he's made of all triangles.
Right.
Anyway, go on.
So Off the Cuff would air from 6:45 to 6:55. One time, I actually listened to the segment.
To Off the Cuff,
rather than just go outside and smoke a cigarette. Right? Normally, I would hit play and I'd go take a smoke break.
Yeah, that's your smoke break.
Like, I'm going to go. And
absolutely.
And what I would do from 6:55 to 7, before the news at the top of the hour, I would tease the next hour. I would talk about a guest that I was having on. Normally, I wouldn't have political guests on. I would have, like, there's a local ghost hunter.
Awesome.
I went out of my way to try to do segments that were
not inherently political.
Right.
You're not looking to, like I said, you weren't looking to scorch
no,
hot
not
button
at all.
issues and, just make everybody upset. You weren't a shock jock.
One time she did her Off the Cuff segment, and at 6:55, immediately my reaction was, so that's all of that. Everything you heard was bullshit.
Awesome.
Absolute, not the truth.
Well, what was the radio safe way of saying that?
The emperor has his clothes. They loved saying at the time Obama was in office.
Yeah.
And they loved saying the emperor has no clothes. That was their line. And I go, I know you think you're clever, but really you just heard it on the news earlier today and you're stealing someone else's material. So you're not fucking clever. Yeah, baby.
It's like when you go into comment sections of anything now, and there's always like the top 5 comments are all one of 5 jokes.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's like, oh my god, what are we doing? Why do you want to be the first one to comment? You know, me when your mom.
me when
Me when.
me when your mom, baby. Hell yeah. So that one time that she was like, you can't disagree with a pre-recorded segment if I'm not there to defend myself. And I go,
your stance was the recorded segment.
And I said, she was still my boss.
She's your boss.
So I said, all right, that's fine. I'll compromise on that.
Yeah.
If you're not there to defend the stupid shit that you say, then I won't go out of my way to make you sound stupid. Fine.
Fair enough.
I can do that, even though you sound stupid.
I love this, by the way. I just love everything about this game right now.
You like it? Yeah, man. This is a vibe.
This is a vibe.
I have 9 cheats enabled because this game, I played it without cheats and just died immediately. It is not a good game, but if you're going for a vibe and you're just trying to collect the pages of the Necronomicon, you're going to have a good time. I recommend getting invincibility turned on so you can actually play the game. I want to be a superhero.
I just want to have fun.
Right.
We've said this before. I want to have fun when I play games. I know you love the challenge of some of the new.
Sometimes I love the challenge.
Heavy duty games, but there is something to be said for just hanging out, killing stuff without any real repercussions, just having a vibe.
I look awesome. They really nailed the character model. Even though it's PlayStation 1, that's Bruce Campbell.
That's Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, a little wobbly, like he's having a seizure.
A little Pierce Brosnan in the face, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is good. I'm in favor of this game. This is great.
Ambiance.
Fire is warm and inviting. Is the deer head going to attack me?
It should, right?
Right, it should burst out of the wall and laugh at me.
I mean, I saw in the cutscene the mirror thing. Like, yeah.
Anyway, the reason I brought up the talk radio station is because during that entire time, during my tenure at the AM talk station, my fake radio name was Bruce Campbell. And no one said anything. Not a soul. People called me Bruce like it was my first name.
Like, they were like, why don't you get a radio name?
Right. And so I said, okay, rather than my given name, I was like, fine, I'm going to be Bruce Campbell. Hell yeah. Even though it's a local town, it's the town I grew up in, basically.
Right.
Everybody knew who I was. The people that knew me on the station knew that my name wasn't Bruce Campbell. But I got away with it. Because the people that I worked with didn't know who Bruce Campbell was.
Which is kind of sad.
A little sad.
I mean, I get it, but it's sad.
One guy, there was one guy that I interviewed that said something about my fake radio name. He goes, and it was the ghost hunter. It was the local ghost hunter. Shocker.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. He says, so Bruce Campbell, huh? And I was like, right, it's fun, isn't it? He's like, it's fun. I like it. This is great. And it wasn't that I was trying to be Bruce Campbell.
And you tipped your fedoras at each other.
it was my way of paying homage to a celebrity that I really looked up to.
Yeah, you weren't out there catfishing his fans.
No,
you were just trying to have a good time.
Who's that young bald man in his 20s? That's Bruce Campbell. You know, I don't think it is. I think you're mistaken. Also, me and Bruce Campbell share the same birthday. We were both born on June 22nd, which is a fact.
Awesome.
So that's where I kind of came up with that. I looked up, in addition to just being a Bruce Campbell fan, I looked up celebrities that I shared birthdays with. Bruce Campbell popped up, and I go, oh, great.
I don't think I have any fun shared birthdays.
It's one of the things that I'm very proud of.
It's a fun little tidbit.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And you always know Bruce Campbell's birthday. You know?
Right.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's.
Is this my headless girlfriend? It is. This is the body of my girlfriend that I'm fighting. No, she's dead. That's too bad.
Yeah, you could. Oh, great. I get Charlie Sheen. Fuck.
Tiger blood, baby. You got it.
Shaun White?
Okay, tight. It's cool.
That's not bad.
It's a lot cooler than Charlie Sheen.
I know. I wanted to find somebody else real quick.
Somebody, got to be somebody else. Got to be another guy.
Oh, Whitey Bulger.
Awesome.
That's it. Charlie Sheen, Shaun White, and Whitey Bulger.
So this game is a survival horror game. It has tank controls like Resident Evil. You are not supposed to fight all these enemies.
Right.
The enemies will just keep spawning. You're supposed to survive it.
It's a run and gun.
Which makes sense and is in line with the Evil Dead franchise. He is not out there killing every single enemy that he runs into. Not necessarily. It's Ash, and he's trying to survive.
One of the things I love about the Evil Dead movies,
Well, jump up.
especially in like I think the second one is the one I'm mostly thinking of. It's that it's not that there's a big bad enemy. There's not a demon or something in particular that he has to defeat. It's evil forces that descend upon him. You know what I mean?
Right.
This curse is going to keep manifesting because they played the tape, because they have the book open and all that stuff, and they attract this curse. It's just going to keep coming. So
Yeah, I've seen Hellraiser. I know about it.
So like you said, it's not about defeating some enemy. They're just going to keep coming.
Right.
You just got to survive. And his whole idea of just, we got to hang on until morning. It's like, says who?
Right. You just made that up. You just decided that.
You just decided that. And it's just awesome. I love the way they play with those kind of ideas, So it makes these movies feel so fun to me.
I believe this is a child deadite. Yep, that's a kid.
Was that not a leprechaun? I'm getting leprechaun.
You getting leprechaun? Okay.
I think it's the hat. The little like.
Maybe it's
is
the way
wearing,
that
like,
he.
a little bowler hat?
Is it the way that he bounds around all nimbly pimbly?
From tree to tree.
From tree to tree. Drinking out of a saucer.
Do you see me eating mice? Hey, you stop laughing right now.
Deadite's a cool name too.
Deadite, great. Well, just the title, The Evil Dead.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Have you watched any of the modern Evil Dead movies? Not the show. The show was great. We all love the show.
I've not watched any of the new movies.
No. I've watched both of them. They're fine.
How do they function? Are they sequels, continuation kind of things, or are they reboots?
Oh,
or
so I
totally
think
different things?
The
What are
first
they?
one felt like a retelling of the first movie.
So like a remake,
Right. And
like a moderning of it.
Yeah, and then Evil Dead Rise, I think, is the sequel. Mm-hmm. That felt like its own standalone movie.
That one's Deadites in a tower, right? They're in
like an apartment complex.
Apartment complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not like a towering.
I think out of the two movies, I prefer the original story that they told in the second one rather than the retelling than just rehashing Ash's story without Ash. I think that was probably a mistake. But the second one's fun because it is just this evil entity,
The Rise,
terrorizing these fucking people living in this
high-rise.
complex. Yeah.
I would watch that one, I think. Yeah, because I feel like it's better, like you said, to just fully separate rather than to rehash. I can enjoy it. You go, okay, this is set in the Evil Dead universe. I go, great, I'm on board. Whereas if you say, all right, this is basically just Ash's story again, but without all the charm of Bruce Campbell, well, I'm out. I'll skip that one. I think, honestly, I don't know how hot of a take this is. I think Army of Darkness is probably my favorite one.
I don't think it's a hot take. I think that's the best one.
It's a big swing.
It's the most well-made one out of all of them anyway. It's the most complete. It feels like a whole movie. The first Evil Dead feels like a bit of a gambit. Like they were really, really experimenting.
Well, you know how the pitch for the sequel to Alien is just he came in and wrote Alien.
Yeah, right.
S with a $sign, and they were like, genius, green light. I think the pitch for the Evil Dead sequel is just Medieval Dead.
Right. Well, so there's Evil Dead and then Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 feels like it's just...
Well, it's a bigger budget version of the first one.
Right, and that was the idea, right?
He proved he could do a lot with no budget, so they were like, okay, here's a little budget. And he was like, all right, well, then I'm just going to also do a lot. You know what I mean? So he just shoved that many more ideas into it. So it's just an amped up version is what I feel. More gags, more ideas, more blood, more everything.
Sure.
So the next time he
Relentless is what these little guys are. Jesus.
They really are. Feral little children. So the next time it comes around and he wants to... That's when he's going to do Army of Darkness,
Yeah.
which I love Army of Darkness. I just think it's so much fun.
This is my boomstick!
So there's an inconsistency with Army of Darkness that's always bugged me.
But I could see if you just thought, what I'm saying is I think it might be a hot take because I think some people really dig the whole cabin in the woods nature of
Oh, I do
the
too,
first
yeah.
couple.
I guess so.
So they probably feel like, where's all that stuff?
So you know in the beginning of Army of Darkness where he's in the cabin and he has the gray streaks in his hair?
Yeah.
And then he goes back in time and the gray streaks are gone? I've always wondered about that. Like, wait, what happened?
Oh, how it doesn't make sense, you mean?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
That's always bugged me a little bit. Not enough to not enjoy the movie, but I feel like...
Well, isn't the whole point of time traveling that you don't get younger?
Right, exactly. It felt like he kind of got younger when he went back in time, and I go, that's not how this works at all.
No, I saw the opening of Back to the Future. I know what happens with Einstein.
I know about time
He
travel.
skipped over that minute to arrive at this minute.
Right.
He didn't age or de-age when going back. Like, you know what I mean?
And the reason that I bring that up is because my favorite episode of Reboot
Oh my God! Hold on.
is still the...
I will say for the Evil Dead thing, just to close that off.
Right, okay.
Before you talk about
Before I move on to something completely different.
Before you talk about Reboot. I think they were just having fun.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think they're just joking around with that stuff in general.
Where's Josh?
The way they're joking around with a lot of the tropes of different genres,
Yeah. No, there's an episode of Reboot. This is right after... I'm going to lose some people on this one.
You might. I don't know.
It's right after Bob the Guardian gets sucked into the web. Mainframe is without a Guardian, and now Enzo is the new Guardian, right? But he's still just a little kid. So people are not really sure of his abilities as the
young Guardian, inexperienced.
Right.
I get it.
Goes into a game. This is like his first game as the new Guardian.
Okay.
And it's Evil Dead. And the user is Ash.
Oh, fun.
And they have to beat Ash.
Oh, you got to put a clip of that.
And, oh, absolutely. During the show, the only thing Ash's character says is groovy.
Oh, that's cute.
That's all he says the whole episode.
Isn't Duke Nukem? Doesn't he have a couple of Ash catchphrases? Because he's like an amalgamation. He only speaks in catchphrases.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, there's.
He does that.
I'm trying to think of other video game references to Ash.
I'm sure there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, he's just very influential. Like, and think about.
I was him for 4 years. I get it. Very influential.
Well, think about just that scene in Evil Dead 2, right? Where it's this outfit. It's when he finally puts on this outfit, right? Where he's got the leather strap, the battle damage on his shirt.
Yeah, it's
those
fucking awesome.
couple of sexy blood drops on his face.
You hear that? Sexy blood drops.
I'm just saying, they make him look more angular. And
Hot.
That's hot. Chin that won't quit. We know he's a hunk, right?
Right.
But just him with the battle damage and the chainsaw and the shotgun, like, what could be cooler?
Authentic battle damage!
I think it really is. Like, it's important when you're making these movies that, like, that design is important, right? Think about iconic character designs. And Ash is right up there.
I like how I was just attacked. It felt like an enemy from the movie. He did a little pirouette thing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the scene in...
There's just like 3 or 4 dance numbers, aren't there?
Yeah, so the one that sticks out to me, of course, is the stop-motion headless body of his girlfriend dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking weird, man. It lasted way too long.
They do the hat down the arm thing, but they do it with the head.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
What are some other Bruce Campbell things that you've enjoyed over the years? Because the one jumps out to me is...
You big Burn Notice fan?
I liked Burn Notice. I owned the first season on DVD.
Nice.
I didn't think that I would like it. A friend of mine introduced me to it. He's like, I know this doesn't seem like a show that you and I would enjoy. It's just kind of like this...
It's a sitcom.
Shimmery, shiny... It's like a comedy crime procedural.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I go, you might be surprised what I like. I did like it. It was great.
He's fun, right?
Yeah. I liked that. I also liked another series that he did. I think it's called Jack of All Trades.
I believe so, yeah.
And it was just this, I'd say mid to late 90s.
Late 90s, something
13
like that,
episode little series historical comedy is how we describe it. It's great.
It's set during Napoleonic times.
Right. There's I think that he has to beat Napoleon in a football game to save Thanksgiving.
At
It's
one point,
ridiculous.
yeah.
And Vern Troyer plays Napoleon. It's
That's
great.
that's what you should lead with.
Right. You're not going to believe this with Vern Troyer and Napoleon. They got him. Okay, my inventory's full.
That was a great show. If you're into Xena, that kind of stuff, then you probably already know about it. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. It's a good one.
This tape will allow you to save your game. I don't like that mechanic. That's a dumb mechanic. What we got here? Converter. One of your scientific experiments. With a little research, it might become useful. Okay, great.
I don't hate that this tape will help you save your game. I don't hate that mechanic.
No? Okay. I never liked...
I kind of like that.
I never liked restricted save points. You know?
I get it.
I know I didn't have a job when I was a kid, but I still had shit to do. Yeah. I didn't have time for all that.
I think it can be like a cheap way to make your game harder, quote unquote, for no reason.
Let's go back in here.
But it's not inherently bad, I don't think. I just love the way this cabin looks.
Yeah.
It looks so cool on the outside.
Games like this, they didn't have a whole lot of budget.
Right, right.
But I think that the people that took part in games like this did the best they could. They tried to craft them lovingly.
Right.
You know?
I think, a labor of love. I think people, we're just hardcore about this kind of stuff.
I think this is the layout of the cabin, too. I think they nailed
It's
it.
a pretty good layout, right? Well, the cabin is impossibly large on the... It's a fucking it's an outhouse on the outside, but you get in there and there's like full hallways and stuff. It's a maze of
This
doors.
living room is the size of a fucking football field.
Right. Well, it's the camera angle because you're looking real low from one side, so it looks like a fisheye lens.
Oh, this is the back door. Got it. I want a fisheye lens.
You're not gonna get the gas can.
Mom, you don't understand. A fisheye lens is going to change everything.
It's gonna look badass.
It's going to look
It's
awesome.
gonna look like a Beastie Boys
you
video.
don't realize how much better movies I'll be able to make with a fisheye lens.
Doesn't everything look weird, Jason?
Yeah. Yeah?
So isn't that funny?
Good? Brendan, I wouldn't buy this.
What else are you supposed to be doing?
We're supposed to be finding pages of the Necronomicon. That is the goal. And I got turned around, and I'm back at the cabinet now. I went all the way around. I went through this cornfield.
I appreciate that he's dripping blood the whole time.
Oh, I didn't go this way. This is new.
Yeah, I was gonna say this doesn't look familiar.
I may have gone this way. It's not a cornfield. I don't know why I called it a cornfield. It's because it's mazy.
It's vaguely corn mazy.
Vaguely mazy. Oh, this is new. Okay. All right, we're getting somewhere. Making some progress.
Nope.
This fucking guy. Die.
Shoot him in the face.
You have to turn... Oh, good idea. It's a great idea.
Why didn't I think of that?
I have a gun. I need to find a boomstick. He doesn't have a pistol.
So other than getting... yeah, that's true. 0 out of 10. Inaccurate.
Hot garbage. Where's his fucking shotgun?
Unplayable.
I'm pissed.
Boycott. That's our review.
Hey, we were saying before we got fucking sidetracked with the boomstick?
I was saying, other than getting lost in a field here, what have you been doing? What have you been doing with yourself?
Oh, I'm still just trying to find something to watch. You know?
Yeah.
We've really been trying to find... Me and the wife, we've been trying to find a TV show that we could watch together. You know? And there's just not many good shows out. But she's been watching one that I didn't even know existed. It's called Big Love, and it's Bill Paxton and Harry Dean Stanton.
Multiple wives?
Yeah. Maybe?
Yeah.
Is that what that is? I don't know.
Polygamy.
Hell yeah.
Polygamy.
You know more about than I do.
I know stuff about things.
Apparently. I had no idea.
Enjoy that. Yeah, watch that.
Really? Okay. Because I like I said, she's been watching several episodes of it.
Big Love?
Big Love, yeah.
Big Love.
Big Love, dog.
Should we tell people that I'm actually not here this week? I'm actually gone. Right now I'm on an adventure.
It is false. This is a lie.
This is all a lie.
This was recorded 1 week ago.
Right.
Last week's episode happened on Easter, so that was legit.
That's why there were a lot of Easter jokes in that episode.
Today also Easter. Can we still make Easter jokes today?
I think today we should make 420 jokes.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm looking to rewatch Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, but I need to order hard copies. I feel like they're not on streaming anywhere.
Yeah, you got here and you asked me and you go, hey, so do you own Army of Darkness? or Evil Dead on physical media, and I still have to go check. I actually
We
don't
have to
know.
check. We have to get to the bottom of that for this week. But it just in general, I think I need to get them.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that I own them.
Well, they do 1 and 2 together all the time, but I think a different studio owns the rights for Army of Darkness, so there's no good way to get a box set of all 3 of the first ones.
Yeah,
It's annoying.
I have no idea.
I need to remedy that. You got any good 420 jokes? Easter fell on 420 this time around.
Oh, always remember to bring a towel to the beach.
Always remember to bring a towel in general, I think.
Yeah, just wherever you go, bring your towel. If your towel is sentient and wants to smoke with you, do it.
Do it.
Do what it says.
He's
not gonna steer you wrong.
and you might get a little funky town out of it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time. So bring your towel, get your towel. He's deep in a hole right now.
Yeah.
The biggest hole that there is in America, I think, is where you're at right now.
I'm actually standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona right now.
Hell yeah.
Just like that Eagles song.
Are you gonna go to Snowflake, where they filmed Fire in the Sky?
Ooh, I should.
You should.
I will go to the observatory, though, in Flagstaff.
I got a traffic ticket in Snowflake one time.
And I have tickets to see Penn and Teller. See, I'm telling people the area
Sure, you're right.
that I'm
The
at right
wide
now.
berth that you're taking part in.
The wide area that I'm in right now. So, yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Try not to get abducted. I would have rather been abducted than got a traffic ticket. That sucked.
I don't know,
Silly.
man. Fire in the Sky still freaks me out.
The craziest part was whenever Robert Patrick wrote the ticket, and I go, wait, what? What's going on here? I don't like this shit.
Wait, you're talking about Wayne's World?
Talking
2?
about Wayne's World, Wayne's World 2. Whenever he wrote,
Ugh.
that was me, not Mike Myers. I was getting the ticket. I'm lost. I don't want to play this anymore.
I think we're done with this one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Let's go look for Bruce Campbell Marathon to put on.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next week.